tell us a bit about Richard Monette, because in a lot of our discussions, we never were able to talk to Richard. And Richard was pretty pivotal here, as it were. And he meant a lot, according to your wonderful book, he meant a lot to you. So what did Richard Monette do for you here as a stage manager?
Well, having just done the Othello, which I thought that would be my last thing that I would do in the theater, and I went and sat for an interview to work in a Crabtree in Evelyn, because I thought that'd be nice, work a place where it smells nice, there's no pressure, Anyway, of course I went, and I was terrible, and I didn't get the job. But then the festival called me and said, we're doing the Taming of the Shrew, and Richard Monette is directing it on the festival stage, and he wants you to stage manage it. And so I thought, no, I don't know. Okay, yes, I will do it if that's all I have to do. Because I thought, they don't have guest artistes in the stage management. And they said, yes, that's fine. So I was only doing the one show. I had so much guilt that I ran the apprentice program for the next 3 years.
Guilt from having pulled out after that?
No, from actually taking a job where I was only working one show. And I was going to be in an office with all these people who were working 2 or 3. And I thought that, I have to do something else. I have to give in some other way. And that show was brilliant. He was fantastic. He was so prepared. Jeanette Lambermont was his assistant. The two of them had figured out everything about it. Everybody in it was so good. Colum and Goldie. It was a whole new look at the play. It really was extraordinary. Extraordinary show. And I mean, even today when you can see the sun and the moon in the same sky, I always think of that show. It really was. It was fantastic. And it was filmed, so thank God that you can still see it. On its 25th anniversary, I did a showing of it in the lobby and got people to come back, like Kim Horseman or a number of people who came from Shaw. Scotty Wentworth. Bill Needles was still around. Great. Can I tell a Bill Needles story? Okay. So we're at the tech dress of the Taming of the Shrew, and Bill is playing the pedant, and he made his first entrance down the aisle in the auditorium. So at the note session, Richard said to him, had a safari jacket and a pith helmet, and Richard said, "Don't wear the hat because it's casting a shadow on your face." And then he started to talk to Bill about the fact that he had asked him to do a kind of stutter as he was speaking, usually on the F's in what he was. And so Richard started to do it and was doing some of the lines. And then he got up on the stage and he was doing it. And the company was laughing, sort of, but they were very aware that it was Richard was getting all these laughs with Bill's material. And finally it was over and there was a studied pause, and then Bill said, "So you don't want me to wear the hat?" Yeah.
In that low, laconic Bill Needles voice.
Yeah. So funny. So funny.
And how many shows did you do with Richard Monette?
Oh, gosh. Maybe 15, something like that. I did the 2 shows that he did in his final year, the Comedy of Errors, where he put in every bad joke he'd ever wanted to do in a play. It was unbelievable. And he also did An Ideal Husband at the festival. But we did the Comedy of Errors at the Avon. He had been on this big trip to the Middle East, and he'd seen the library, the big ruin of the library, it's got it's 2 floors and it has columns, and there are 3 doors at the bottom and 3 windows at the top, and that's what the set for the Comedy of Errors looked like. and it was set in Greek time, so that people were wearing those little short skirts and knee boots and all that kind of stuff. And literally, like, not only did we have the comedy cat, we had the comedy dog. At one point, David, shit, it's the names that go first. David Snellgrove, who was playing one of the Antiphili, and they were wearing like a little sort of long dress anyway, he went over close to the edge, right by the orchestra pit, and on a cue, a fan came on and blew his skirt up like Marilyn Monroe in 7-Year Itch. It was full of stuff like that. And then in the last scene, when the Antiphili and the Dromio run into the Abbey to escape from the crowd, and then Chick Reed was playing the abbess. She looked out of the window and talked to them all. But it was one of those situations where if she stays up there, the rest of the stage has to look up at her, has their backs to the audience. So we need to get her from there to here somehow. So what he did was, she closed the door, and a penguin, an actor in a penguin suit, came on from down left and walked right across the stage and up to the door, and Chick opened the door, and the penguin made an exit. And on the back, the penguin was wearing a sign that said, "Just for the critics." It was unbelievable. Oh my God. It was funny, but it was so bad. It was so naughty. It really was. But that was his goodbye.
That was his goodbye.
That was his goodbye. And
Do you
it's
think he was
also, when you're talking about Mr. Gill, I mean, he stopped being the artistic director in 2007, and he died in 2008. Like, the theater was his whole life. It was just a crime that he never got to come back. Never, was a guest, at a theater that he devoted his life to.